Hi, this class is a quick warm up into our EPK 1 and 2 arm balances. So if you have these in your practice, you'll enjoy the quick warm up. We're going to warm up our core, start getting in some twists so that we can get working into our compression and also warming up the muscles to prepare for these arm balances. If you are new to your EPK 1 or 2, it's still fun to come along and play along because you do get a nice full body warm up leading up to the arm balances. Remember that those are really just our peak pose of the class, and we are all here to try and to improve. And whether we take the arm balance or not, we still got that full body warm up and everything leading up to it, which makes us stronger and feel better in the end. So, why don't you come join me on your mat? And we will just come into a cross legged seat. And so, we're starting on the same side. Let's all have the left shin in front of the right. So, seated here, grounding down into the tailbone. Both of the sit bones are connected to the mat. We'll just take a moment and close the eyes and allow ourselves to relax. Sit up tall from the crown of the head all the way down to the tailbone and feel the shoulder blades start to relax down the back. The sides of the neck feel soft. Hands just rest gently onto the legs as we start to breathe in and out through the nose. Get familiar with the breath and to use that breath throughout the practice today. On the next inhale, let's open the eyes and lift the arms up towards the sky as the gaze goes up. And then we'll start to fold forward from the hips. Allow the arms and the hands to come out long in front of you. And we'll start to sink down towards the mat here. So first, allow the chest and the torso to drape over the legs. And as you do so, then feel the hips start to push back and allow the glutes to sink into the mat because they're going to want to roll forward naturally. But let's push into the mat with our hands so that those hips and the glutes can connect to the mat a little more. Allow the head and the neck just to relax down. We'll hold for a couple of breaths, and on each exhale, maybe feel your way out. Perhaps you can grow your torso a little bit longer. Maybe you can walk the hands just a little bit further on the mat and still keep those hips connected. On the next inhale, we'll walk our hands back and bring them towards the body. From here, let's extend the left leg out long, directly in front of you. So we're not at an angle, just right out in front of you. You may need to adjust the hips and then draw the right foot to the inside of that left thigh. Inhale the arms up tall, grow tall, and then exhale again. Feel the fold coming from the hips as you drape over that left front leg. Stretching into the back of the left hamstring. Maybe on the next inhale, rise up an inch or two, lengthen out through the spine, and then drape down a little further. You can hold on to your foot. You can let the hands just rest gently onto the mat. Just feel that compression you're creating between the top of the left thigh and the chest. On the next inhale, let's just come back up to sit. And from here, keep the right foot where it's at. And we'll start to bring that left foot in. Take a hold. If you can take the bottom of the foot by cupping the hands underneath it, or maybe just taking the hands around the shin. Either way, we're going to start to extend that left leg and straighten out the leg as much as possible. The knee can still be bent here. We're working on lengthening that hamstring. And draw that left leg in as close as you can. Again, trying to keep that spine straight and sitting as tall as possible. Use your breath. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, maybe draw that left leg in a little bit closer. Keep the right leg grounded and connected towards the mat. And here comes the challenge. We're going to keep that left leg lifted in the air as we release the hands down and bring them to either side of us on the mat. Still try to stay tall. The left leg will probably come down slightly. You're just using your active strength in that left thigh and the hamstring. Take one big inhale here and then exhale. Release it down. Very good. We're going to switch the legs out. This time the right shin comes in front of the left for a nice seated position. Inhale the arms up and exhale once more, folding from the hips. Just opening into that outer right hip this time. Again, think of allowing yourself to fold forward, but then once you reach as low as you can, push your hands into the mat so that you can push the glutes back and connect yourself through your pelvis, through your hips, a little more into the mat. You'll feel a nice stretch through the low back along with that right hip. On every inhale, think of lengthening. On every exhale, think of sinking down further. On your next inhale, we'll walk ourselves back up to a seated position. This time, extend that right leg out directly in front of you. Draw the left foot into the inside of that right thigh. Maybe adjust your hips so that your tailbones are seated evenly. Inhale the arms up tall and exhale, fold forward over that right straight front leg. Maybe catching a hold of the foot. Maybe allowing the hands to come on the outside of the right shin. However you want to take this. On the next inhale, let's lift up just an inch. Expand, and then exhale, release. Connect that chest to the top of the right thigh. Feel the compression you're making between those two body parts. Feel that hamstring open up and press that into the back, into the top of the mat. On your next inhale, let's use the hands and push ourselves back up to seated. Again, we're going to take that seated hamstring stretch. So keep the left leg and shin where it's at. Start to bend the right leg. Catch a hold of either the foot or the shin or a strap. And then start to extend that right leg. You can keep the knee bent or extend it as high as you can and draw that leg in towards your chest. Stay grounded through the hips, tall through the spine. Nice deep breaths here. We're going to take that challenge, start to release the hands, but keep the leg up in the sky and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release it down. From here, let's cross the ankles and start to roll over the shins And we'll push right into a downward facing dog. Keep those knees nice and bent. So a very deep knee bend here in our downward facing dog to start with. One very nice inhale through the nose, sending it down through the hips, the back of the legs, and exhale it out through the mouth. Start to pedal the feet. Moving in your downward facing dog before we start to find stillness. And when you're ready, start to press the heels back, push the hands into the mat, and feel yourself settle into your down dog. Take the right foot, lift it up towards the sky for your three-legged dog. And then from three-legged dog, we'll start to shift forward, rounding the upper back. Bend the right knee as you place the foot in between the hands. You're in your runner's lunge. And we'll just pause in our runner's lunge. Keep the fingertips connected towards the mat. Lift the chest. Look forward. Feel that back leg engage. Inhale here. And then exhale. Let that back knee touch the mat. And then we'll come to lift the torso, shift back, take the hands up above the head into Kali Mudra so that the fingers are interlaced, but the index fingers are pointing up towards the sky. So we're in this low lunge variation. You can see that my hips are more stacked on top of each other, so it's a much more upright low lunge. I'm keeping my toes tucked. You can untuck them if you want. But I'm feeling that right foot draw back towards the body, creating active engagement and feeling that in the outside of the left hip. From here, release the hands, shift the hips back, maybe untuck the toes for our half splits. Now, if you were in that low lunge shape, your hips may be further back than your knee. So let's just adjust and maybe shift our right leg forward a little bit more so that your hip can stay stacked on top of the knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, forward fold. Drape the body over the top of that right leg. You might have a slight bend in that right knee, but think about driving the right heel into the mat, and you'll really feel the back of the right leg start to light up. From your half splits, we're going to shift forward and come back into our low lunge. This time, allow the hips to shift and come more forward. So we're really allowing the hips to sink deeply towards the mat. Again, the arms come up towards the sky. Or if this is too much on the shoulders, you can bring the hands to heart center. Wherever you're at, let's take the left hand towards the mat. Take that right arm up towards the sky as you tuck the back toes and then lift into our easy twist. Nice deep inhale here. And then exhale, set that back knee down. And we'll take a twist even deeper by wrapping that left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Prayer hands as you gaze up towards the right side. Now you can stay right here with the knee on the mat and work on your twist, feel it coming from your core. Or if you want to tuck those back toes, you can lift that back knee up off of the mat. Feel that back heel pushing back, keeping that left leg engaged. From here, let's unravel. Take it back through runner's lunge. We'll step back into a plank. From plank, we'll take 2 chaturanga push-ups. Bend the elbows, shift the chest forward, and lower down. Inhale, push up, back to plank. Once more, bend the elbows, lower down. Inhale, push back to plank. From plank, we'll just come right back into our downward facing dog. One big inhale. And exhale it out. On the next inhale, let's take that left foot up to the sky for our three-legged dog. Start to shift forward, rounding the back, making space for that left foot to plant in between the left and the right hands. So we're in the runner's lunge, now on the left side. In your runner's lunge, the fingertips are just touching the mat. The chest is lifted. And we're feeling the compression between the chest and that top left thigh. From your runner's lunge, set that back knee down, and we'll come into that upright version of our low lunge. So shifting the hips back so that the right hip is stacked on top of the right knee. And then inhale the arms up. Take your Kali Mudra. Index fingers pointing towards the sky and the upper arms alongside the ears. Feel this active engagement. Draw the left heel back towards the body. As you feel the right knee, try to push forward. Try to create a wrinkle in the mat to really light up the lower body. From your low lunge, we're going to push into our hamstring stretch or our half splits. So shift the hips back. Again, you're going to see that your hip comes behind the knee. So you'll most likely have to lift that left foot and leg a little higher. Bring it more forward. Inhale, lift the chest, and then exhale. Drape yourself over that left front leg. Small bend in the knee. As you inhale, feel yourself maybe rise up just an inch or two, and then exhale, relax into the fold. Feel the muscles in the face and the jaw continue to stay soft as you use the breath. You're still actively pushing that left heel into the mat to feel the back of the left leg stretch. From this hamstring stretch, we're going to shift forward and we'll take the different variation on our low lunge. This time, allow the hips to sink forward. And so we're getting more of a stretch into the front of that right hip. You can bring your hands up once more to Kali Mudra, or if you would like to keep them at heart center, that works just fine as well. Keep the tailbone slightly tucked. And then on the next inhale, take the right hand to the mat and then tuck the back toes as you lift the back leg off the mat and start to twist into your easy twist. Gaze looks up at the left hand. Feel the twist coming from the core. Very good. Release that right knee back towards the earth. And we'll take an even deeper twist by taking the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Hands come to prayer. As we push the right elbow to the outside of that left knee, look up towards the sky. And if you want to try to lift that back leg, you can tuck the back toes and lift the knee off the mat. Holding here. Use every exhale to squeeze out any space and twist even further into that core. On a release, let's take the hands towards the mat. We'll come into plank and we'll take 2 more chaturanga push-ups. Shifting forward, bend the elbows, lowering down for 1. Pushing back up into plank. 1 more, lower down chaturanga. And then push up into your plank. Finally, let's all push back into downward facing dog. If you'd like, you can also take a moment in child's pose for a quick rest. Now we are going to take a quick flow into our EPK 2. We'll start with EPK 2 for our arm balance. Wherever you're at, let's settle into the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Allow the shoulders to draw wide across the back. On your next inhale, the right foot lifts up towards the sky for three-legged dog. We'll start to shift forward. Draw that right knee into chest as you come towards plank. Really pull that right knee in. Try to keep it connected to the chest. And then inhale. Come back up to your three-legged dog. Next, we'll take a bend in the right knee. Take it to the outside of the right elbow. Connect that knee to the outside. You feel the knee pressing into the outside of the right elbow or upper arm. Preferably the upper arm, if you can get it there. And then press it back up to three-legged dog. Once more, draw the right knee in, knee to chest. Press up, three-legged dog. And then draw the right knee to the outside of the right elbow. Press it in. And then kick it back up to three-legged dog. From here, let's all come into downward facing dog. And you can take a quick rest in child's pose. Rest the arms, rest the shoulders. We'll go through that once more. And the next time we will come into our EPK 2. So go ahead and take a moment in your child's. When I take my EPK 2, I will be limited by my couch. So I won't be able to take the full extension of the right leg. Now, when you do take your EPK 2, remember, you don't need to take the full extension. You can have the knee completely bent and just leave it right there and just play around with the balance and the weight of the body onto the elbows. So whenever you're ready, let's push back up into our downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale the right foot up to the sky. And from here, exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the outside of the right upper arm. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. This time we're going for it by bringing that right knee to the outside of the right upper arm. Start to shift forward even more. At the same time, bend the elbows. Allow the left elbow to come in even more deeply. You can rest the left hip on top of it. And then shift the torso forward as you lift off. Maybe extend that right leg back. From here, you can allow the left foot to drop towards the mat. Step the right foot back. Push up into plank. And back into downward facing dog. Very good. We're going to take that once more, but on the left side. So we'll work those compressions and knee to chest. Inhale the left knee to, or so the left foot to the sky for three-legged dog. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale up. Exhale, and draw the left knee to the outside of the left upper arm. Inhale it up. Exhale, feel that left knee connect with that left upper arm. Inhale it up for three-legged dog. And let's come back into our downward facing dog. If you want to take a quick child's pose before we try our EPK 2 on the left side, by all means take one. It's good to be prepared and allow the shoulders a quick rest before we take any arm balances so that we're at our best selves. When you are ready, this time we'll take those once more, a quick flow. Inhale the left foot up to the sky. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, push back. Exhale, knee to the upper arm. Inhale up. Exhale, knee to chest. One more. This one we're going to go for the arm balance. Exhale, start to bring that left knee to the outside of the left upper arm. Bend the elbows deeply. Maybe plant the right hip on the top of the right elbow as you shift the torso forward. Extend the legs, or keep the left leg bent if you want. Play around. And whenever you're ready, you can step both of the feet back. Press up to plank, and then back to downward facing dog. Very good. Let's all come into a child's pose. Bring the hands alongside the body. Give the shoulders a little break. Allow them to spread wide across the back. And just regain the breath. When you're ready, we're going to push back into a downward facing dog. And then slowly walk the feet up in between the hands. I want you to try to fully plant the foot as you walk up towards the top of the mat. And as you get closer to the hands, this is going to get harder to have the feet flat and to keep the palms down. You're just working on that compression, bringing the legs in and keeping the chest glued to the thighs. From here, tuck the tailbone, take the hands towards the hips as you slowly roll up to mountain. Very good. From mountain, inhale the arms up. And then exhale, sink the hips back. Draw the big toes together as you go into your chair pose. From your chair pose, take a nice inhale here. And then on an exhale, we'll take a chair twist. Bringing that left elbow to the outside of the right knee. From your chair twist, can you open up the arms? Maybe set the fingertips onto the mat. And from here, stay low in the hips. And we're going to step that left foot back. So you're now in a extra twisty, easy twist. From here, if you would like to take a bind, if that's available to you, you can wrap that left arm underneath the leg and maybe catch a hold of the fingertips with the right hand. Keep that left thigh lifted and then slowly start to unravel. And we'll push back into our downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we're going to lift that right foot up into the sky again. And we're going to take a very similar step into our EPK 1 as we did in EPK 2. So this time, draw the right knee into chest as you come towards plank. Lift it up towards the sky. And this time, the right knee goes to the outside of that left upper arm. So you're in a very deep twist. Come back through center, push back into your three-legged dog. Take that once more, right knee into chest. Press it all the way up to your three-legged dog. Then take that right knee over towards the left upper arm. And we'll try to take our EPK 1. So again, bend the elbows deeply. Bring that right elbow in so it connects with the right hip for support. Shift the torso forward. And then start to feel the back leg lift off. Maybe extend that front leg, the right leg. Gaze is forward. If you can, take the balance and come into a side crow. Stack that left leg on top of the right. And then slowly set the feet down onto the mat. We'll come into our revolved chair pose. Hands are at heart center. The left arm or elbow is the outside of the right knee. And then from here, let's just unravel and fold forward.
That is quite a challenge. It's quite an upper body workout. We'll go ahead and walk ourselves towards the front of the mat. Still take a breath here. Maybe hold on to the outside of the upper arms. Sway if you want. And whenever you're ready, allow your tailbone to tuck, and we'll slowly roll up towards our mountain pose. Are we ready to take that on the opposite side? Let's inhale the arms up. Exhale, sink the hips back for chair pose. And you can have the hands at heart center or above or alongside the ears, whatever feels good for you. This is kind of where I landed, so this is where I'm going to be. Take a nice inhale here, and then exhale. We'll start our twist. Draw that right elbow to the outside of the left leg. Gaze up towards the sky. On the next inhale, we'll open up the arms. Allow the right fingertips to touch the mat. And then maybe step the right foot back for your extra twisty twist. Allow the exhales to take you a little bit deeper into each twist. And if you want, you can try for the bind on this side. Maybe even just taking the left hand behind the back. It doesn't need to take a hold of the right hand by any means. And then wherever you're at, unravel. Take the hands down to the mat, and we'll press back into our downward facing dog. Time to take that flow to the next side for our EPK 1. And we'll inhale the left foot up towards the sky. Exhale, shift forward as we draw the knee just to the chest. Inhale, the foot to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, twist. Draw that left knee across. Feel it connect to the right upper arm. Inhale up, three-legged dog. Exhale, draw that left knee across. Start to continue to shift forward as you bend the elbows. Feel the torso come deeper and shift even further forward as you lift the back foot up off of the mat. Try to keep the shoulders even. And from here, after you've tried your arm balance, maybe you can bring that back leg in for your side crow. Use the hands as brakes. And then whenever you're ready, you can come back through your side crow into your revolved chair. The right elbow is on the outside of the left knee, gazing up. And then exhale, release it all out, forward fold. We're facing the right side of the mat, in case you were wondering if you got lost. And then we'll just start to slowly walk our hands to face the top of the mat. Step the feet out wide, wider than hip width, and sink the hips down to your yogi squat. Take a breath, maybe shift back and forth in your yogi squat. Hands at prayer, and then push into the inside of the thighs with the elbows. Whenever you're ready, come to stillness. And then return back to the breath. Release the hands, allow them to just extend in front of you, and then let your hips come all the way to the mat. And we'll just come into a seated position. with one leg crossed in front of the other. It doesn't matter which, whatever you find comfortable. And we'll start to close out our practice here. Feel yourself settle back in. Maybe start to allow the breath to come back to normal. If you're like me, you're probably feeling a lot of heat in the body right now, especially in the hips and through the core. Feel that energy and the fire that you created in your core. Be such a great tool to carry off of your mat, to feel energized and to feel strong. No matter where you're at in your arm balance practice, it's always just fun to come to your mat and remember to keep it playful. I think if we incorporate a little more play throughout our day or in our workouts, we'll actually start to look forward to them and try to make more time for it in our lives. When you're ready, you can go ahead and open the eyes. Inhale the arms up towards the sky. Draw the hands through heart center as we bow the head and feel just a little stretch in the back of the neck. We'll slightly tuck the chin. Thanks for joining me on that practice. If you have any comments or any suggestions for any future flows, please leave them down below. Be sure to hit subscribe. There are new videos on this channel every single week. I appreciate you coming here, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye.